budget airlines or low-cost carriers, call them what you will. Many, including myself, perceive budget carriers as being a cheap but cramped and unpleasant way to fly. However, my flight with AirAsia from Kuala Lumpur to Singapore left me full of surprises from the moment I was about to board the flight. But was it in a good or bad way? And should you avoid or fly AirAsia? Watch till the end to find out. AirAsia uses KLIA Terminal 2 at Kuala Lumpur, where most or all of the flights were AirAsia ones. Interestingly, the terminal was located next to a large shopping mall with plenty of eateries, an airport hotel, as well as the Plaza Premium Lounge. The terminal itself was filled with automated check-in kiosks and people. While it was clean, it felt really crowded and was very noisy, probably due to the fact I was travelling near the holiday seasons. The immigration area was extremely chaotic and one of the worst I have ever seen. Still, there were nice shopping facilities and plenty of eateries inside the terminal itself. The signage was pretty good. There was a cool link bridge between the terminal building which made for some spectacular views of aircraft. The terminal itself felt light and airy and was carpeted to help reduce noise levels. Oh yes, and there was also a Starbucks, which as ever was certainly a pleasing sight. It's a caramel marble cheesecake. It's not a drink, but anyway, cheers and cheers to clear skies ahead later. Headed over to the gate for a regular boarding scene, though as I discovered there will be a total of 2 surprises. The first being that boarding was delayed by around 30 minutes in total, and the reason, a broken glass door that could not be unlocked. Eventually, they realized we could board from another gate, and that is exactly what we did, despite the lack of an announcement. Then I realized that my flight was changed to the A320neo, which was a surprise as during booking it stated that the aircraft type was the A320ceo. Nevertheless, I boarded the A320neo, albeit 30 minutes late, and soon we were on our way. Immediately after takeoff, service started and the cabin crew offered food items for purchase as well as duty-free items, of which there was a huge selection in the in-flight magazine. I'll show you the menu a little later on. Service is something that truly sets AirAsia apart. While their cabin crew was slightly reserved, they were really friendly and provided very good service towards all passengers. They also proactively offered customers the option to purchase their food and drink. Even on this short 45-minute flight, the cabin crews were able to serve full hot meals to passengers. I didn't order any food items on this flight, but for my previous flight, I had a roast chicken and just some cutaways of some shops of the meal on the previous flight.
Savannah, I'm coming home, Savannah.
Overall, I think that meals on AirAsia are pretty good in terms of quality, and the price is very fair.
Let's all take a ride, Savannah.
The cabin crew are also pretty friendly as well, so thumbs up. AirAsia is also really customer-oriented and eager to please their passengers. Lastly, as I'll mention later again, AirAsia understands that flying budget is about saving money and increasing choice. There are no policies banning people on taking outside food and drink on board, which is such a nasty policy that is present on a certain budget airline based in Singapore. I am of course talking about Scoot. Overall, amongst all budget carriers in Asia, AirAsia leads the field in terms of onboard service, selection of meals, as well as the size, price, and quality of those meals.
Let's go back to when trees were swung. Kids across the lane. Savannah.
For most of this flight, I entertained myself by staring out of the window and looking into the deep blue sky, which was stained orange by the setting sun. The sky is such a wonderful place to be and feels like home. However, for those who are not interested in just staring out the windows, similar to many other budget carriers, AirAsia does also offer an onboard streaming service called Rocky. This allows you to stream a selection of movies and content to your mobile phone at no extra cost. Firstly, you had to scan the QR code in the in-flight magazine and then connect to the system. I'm not sure if the service is unavailable on short flights of 45 minutes or whether the system isn't working, but I was unable to use the streaming service and thus was unable to show you what the system was like. Internet services are also available, though as with any other airline, it is chargeable. It is worth noting that only a small percentage of AirAsia's fleet of A320s are actually Wi-Fi enabled. However, considering how short this flight was, the lack of an IFE system was not a problem at all. Now the bits you have been waiting for. What are the seats like on a low-cost carrier like AirAsia? Well, AirAsia actually has pretty decent seats on the A320neo aircraft. Similar to other A320s, the cabin is laid out in a 3x3 configuration with a total of 186 seats. Within the cabin, AirAsia offers two types of economy class seats. Standard seats, which were fully black in colour, had around 28 inches of pitch, while hot seats, which had red accents on them, had an extra inch of pitch for added legroom. There were a total of 5 rows of hot seats closer to the front and 2 more rows in the middle of the aircraft, which also doubled as exit row seats. If you are tall, upgrading to these seats makes sense, as on this flight it costs 11 Sing dollars more to select these seats compared to the regular seats at the rear of the aircraft. That said, even the regular seats had decent legroom thanks to the slimmer seats. I was 183cm tall and had plenty of leg space. Compared to other budget carriers, AirAsia seems to have more spacious seats, and for this short 45-minute hop, I did not feel cramped at all. The seats themselves though were slightly uncomfortable, as the padding was rather hard and there was little in the way of lumbar support. The seat also felt incredibly upright. That said, the recline on these seats were pretty good, especially for a budget carrier. I managed to capture the seats without anyone in the way on my other flight heading towards Kuala Lumpur, as this flight back was completely full. In front of your legs, there was a medium-sized seat pocket, which proved to be a handy storage area. I like the fact that the design meant it could accommodate water bottles or smaller items. Unfortunately, as some feedback to AirAsia, cabin cleanliness could certainly be improved as the seat back was really dirty. Maybe this is a thing with budget carriers due to the tighter turnaround times? Let me know in the comments box below. Above that sat a single-piece tray table, pretty standard on A320 aircraft. These seats had no USB ports or 3-pin sockets, but this is similar to other A320s. There were also no headrests, not even for the hot seats. Overall, while the seats could have had more padding and lumbar support, they were more spacious than other budget carriers. So here is just a quick look at the lavatory. I love the fact there was mood lighting and it was pretty clean overall. Soon, it was time to end this nice flight on board AirAsia. So, what was flying budget like? Yes, now it comes to the time for the aviation flyer's verdict. All in all, my flight on board AirAsia was certainly comfortable and pleasant. The seats may be slightly lacking in support, but were spacious overall. While I did not get the opportunity to try out the onboard streaming service, given that this is such a short flight, it was not a problem at all. Though I do hope that AirAsia can roll out this service across more of its fleet sooner. What really left an impression on me was the crew and onboard service. The crew on board my flights were excellent and made every passenger feel welcome. The meal selection was huge with very reasonable prices, and the meals themselves were tasty with generous portion sizes. So, should you avoid, consider, shortlist or fly AirAsia with a combination of spacious seats, a pleasant experience, and great onboard services and meals, you should go right ahead to fly AirAsia. Also, just to add, flying budget is certainly a great way to go. And if you want to fly budget, AirAsia is certainly one of the best airlines out there and the best in Asia Pacific. Thanks for watching, and do not forget to subscribe for more great aviation vlogs, flight reviews, and also new plane spotting content on the way. Also, hit the bell icon so you're alerted of those upcoming new videos.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have